All right. Welcome to episode 3 of the show. That is the Trinity. That is the 3, the Trey, Curry for 3. My name is Sam. I'm our Breakaway director, which is our middle school program at Kensington Church. We are from the Lapeer Rd campus, and I am joined by Michael and Kelsey. We're here today.
So I'm Michael. I work with Edge, our high school program, and
I'm Kelsey. I do our operations, and I work with our small groups.
Small groups. Groups are where life change happens. Doesn't happen in circles. Nope, it does happen in circles. It doesn't happen in rows. Happens in circles and zigzags.
Kelsey, we just noticed that you're super short right now.
Yeah, I'll do better next time.
Should
It's
we
like Mike's super short show.
You guys should all come down to my
Come
level.
down a little.
See,
How's
doesn't
that
the world
better?
look
I feel
totally
like
different?
now I don't have to work out. So yesterday at Breakaway, we had a lot of fun.
You had somebody speaking.
We did. We had Kimberly Pinkle speaking. She was fire. That's the noise fire makes. It bounces.
You're like a walking sound effects machine.
Whatever we need.
Okay. Well, in Edge, there was still some fire. We had 3 speakers come in and learned a little bit more about how we deal with our pain and the troubles in our lives and finding God in the middle of that.
Very cool.
You want to talk about this weekend?
Yeah, I mean this weekend that's what we're talking about. We're talking about how we're not meant to walk alone. Last week we talked about how we're not meant to walk alone because God is with us. This week we're talking about how we're not meant to walk alone because God has put people in our lives to walk with.
I hear you have a game for us today.
Yeah, so since we're talking about how it's not good to be alone and how we want to do life with others, what better way than to play a game with the possibility of going through something not so great, but you're doing it with someone else. Makes it a lot better, right?
What does that mean?
I'm not
Well,
sure.
I think it has something to do with
All
eggs
these games. Eggs?
and possibly getting
Green eggs and ham.
nasty egg yolk and
Same I
everything
am.
all over yourself. I don't know.
Egg roulette.
Egg roulette.
Ah.
Yes.
Sam Frenchie 1 and Michael play egg roulette.
In here, we have 12 eggs, 5 of which are hard-boiled, 7 of which are not. So Sam, the first one of us to crack 3 regular eggs, raw eggs, loses.
Yes.
Okay?
Raw eggs would be the ones that splatter, make a mess.
You got 3 splatters.
Can you
You're
keep
done.
your glasses on? No.
Oh, that's 1.
1. Did I just drop it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, not on your shoes.
Don't talk right now.
All right.
Round.
Oh, gross. Yo.
It's really gross.
I hear it does wonders for your hair, though.
I don't think that's true.
That's nasty.
So it's
Okay.
1-1.
We're both losing.
I don't know. No! Oh, I haven't lost one
Are
of
there
our
any
games
hard-boiled eggs in
yet. I
here?
haven't lost one of our games yet, and I'm about to lose.
Okay, all right, okay.
Oh,
Yay!
dang it. It still sounded like it hurt.
It didn't hurt. It smells like
Gross.
eggs.
Easter. But you're not gonna lose.
I know, but I gotta join you. You can't like have that many without me, right? I gotta be nice.
Look, Michael, you beat me. I'm covered in egg.
Well, that game was annoying. Thanks for choosing that one, Kelsey.
My pleasure.
But at least we got to play it.
Where did all the egg go? Production.
Magic.
BTS.
Magic. I don't know what that means.
Behind the scenes.
I was thinking the K-pop.
That's what I
band.
thought too.
Oh.
Anyway, so the nice
Oh.
thing about that game is that we didn't have to go through it alone, right? We were
Yes.
together. But I think when it comes to our lives, it's amazing how much more confidence and courage we have when we don't have to travel through things alone.
For sure.
Have you ever experienced this, Sam? I hope so, because I told you to come up with the story.
So a couple years ago, I got a tattoo for my birthday, and it has my wedding anniversary so that I don't forget it. But if that was the case, it's a joke, because if that was the case, I would have got it the other way. Like, it would have been facing me.
I just thought that's how many years you did in prison.
Come on.
Like,
That's ridiculous. That'd be a lot of years. When I got my tattoo that day, my wife and I went camping that night. It was June. That's when my birthday is. So we were camping, and we were alone camping in the woods on a campground, but we were alone. Like none of the other campsites were being used. And we had a tent. We're very excited about camping. However, I'm not very good. We don't camp.
No?
We don't camp.
Are you a glamper?
No.
Not even.
That's silly.
So you
That's
stayed
expensive.
So you stayed in a hotel?
No, we had a tent. We went to the campground, and so we were there. It's nighttime. We're like in the tent, in our sleeping bags, and then all of a sudden, I hear, and I'm like, what is happening? Thought we were alone. We were not alone. I get out. I look into the woods. I see a deer. A deer, yes, a deer. A doe, a deer, a female deer. There was no rays of golden drops of sun, though. And so there was a deer. I was afraid. I'm afraid of everything. And I was afraid of the deer, so I got in the car. And then Ann got in the car. And then there were some big old bugs that were also in the car with us. Again, not alone. So we got out of the car, but the deer was outside. So what did we do at midnight and my birthday as we were trying to camp? We packed up the tent and drove home. That's the story of when I thought I was alone and I wasn't. So there's the truth. You're never alone.
There's always a deer right next to you.
You're never alone.
Was it at least like a buck with like?
What did I
big
say,
horns?
Kelsey? A doe, a deer, a female deer, with no rays of golden drops of sun.
You're just
understand
singing.
why a deer would have driven you guys away.
Well,
It was just me. It's the name I call myself. The car was not too far away to run.
So it's interesting how our perspective can change when we know somebody else is with us, but also when somebody else thinks the same way as us. I think it's
Sure.
probably why some of our friends that we have, we end up collecting them because we often think the same thing as them. So we actually got to talk to some high schoolers. Remember when you had that snow day the other day? Well, we got to talk to some of the high schoolers here from Edge and ask them about some things that are stressors in their lives, just to see if maybe something that they're dealing with or something that they face is also something that you might. The most stressful things that you face in your student life.
Oh, you ain't recording me. 3 most stressful things in student life: scholarships for college, because those are really expensive and hard to get. Tests are stressful, and finding a prom date.
Finding a prom date?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's stressful.
All right, Isaac, 3 most stressful things in your life right now.
Waking up. That's a little close.
It's actually not.
It's actually not.
Yeah, that is.
Calculus and sports.
Waking up, calculus, and sports.
Yes.
Okay. Caden, 3 most stressful things in your life right now.
Tests, studying, getting to school.
Test, studying, and getting to school.
Yeah, it's hard to find motivation. My dad's always like screaming at me to like get up and do it.
Okay. That's fine. Hunter.
Right now at this
Yeah.
current time.
Yeah. 3 most stressful things in your life.
Okay, so they are my mom calling me when I know I've done something wrong, my dad calling me when I know I've done something wrong, and you putting the phone in my face.
Okay. Chris, 3 most stressful things in your life right now.
Getting up in the morning.
What?
Getting up in the morning. Tests and finding time to do stuff like this.
Tests and finding time to have fun? Owen, 3 most stressful things in your life right now.
Michael, and Michael.
Shut up. So my family has this saying that we use all the time. I really like it, and it's this: if somebody else sees your ghosts, you're not crazy. You know?
That's good.
Kind of funny, but kind of true. You know, sometimes we think we're the only things, or we're
Only
the
people.
only people who see something a certain way, and that can also bring a whole lot of fear. Or we can also have the wrong perspective when we're the only one that thinks that. But when we know that other people think that too and see that,
Yeah.
it shows us that either we're not as crazy as we thought we were, or at least there's someone else who's as crazy as us.
Absolutely. That's good. So we have a scripture that we want to share with you guys. It's all praise to God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. God is our merciful Father and the source of all comfort. He comforts us in all our troubles so that we can comfort others. When they are troubled, we will be able to give them the same comfort God has given us. For the more we suffer for Christ, the more God will shower us with his comfort through Christ. So it's a chain reaction is really what it is. It's when we receive God's love, we're able to share it with others. Everybody needs to be comforted, and we can find it in God. And when we're able to rest in it, then we're able to share it with the world around us. I said the world around us. Almost.
I experienced this a little earlier this year when my brother had passed away. It happened really suddenly and hit our family really hard, as it would because it's somebody really close to us. Yeah. And I wasn't sure how to process it. I know the first thought that I encountered is one that I think many people encounter when we go through difficult things. We think we're alone, and instantly I was like, how am I going to deal with this? You know, how do I deal with this in a strong way for my family?
Yeah.
How do I lead them well in this? And the most encouraging thing that I ran into was the amount of support that I had from my friends. Wow. Even friends who had lost family members themselves, they were the first ones to come alongside me, to send a little message, to give me a phone call, and to say, what do you need? Even if it's just to come sit next to you, you know? And I think about this, like they had experienced this themselves.
Yeah. They
They had gone through this in a way that I hadn't. And they had experienced the comfort of God coming out on the other side of that, and they did exactly what you read.
Wow.
They used that to share that with me, and now I know for me, if somebody else in my life experiences this, now I know for me, I need to go and help them.
Yeah.
You know, I can use what I went through and how others have helped me
That's awesome.
to bring the presence of God to somebody else.
That's really good.
That is really good. And this is even why we have small groups at both Edge and Breakaway. We want to give you guys kind of another community where you're able to build relationships with others and share your experiences with each other so that you know you're not going through things alone in life. And it's just another support system that we want to give you with other people your age and with small group leaders to help you feel comfortable, build a safe space for you to share and for you guys to go through life together.
That's awesome. I think too, just as you were sharing that, like, think about your life. Think about the ways that you've experienced God's comfort and things that maybe you've had to walk through, that you've been through, or somebody close to you's been through, that you've seen, that you've been able to experience God's comfort that you can share with others. I just think that's so powerful.
Yeah.
And so this weekend, we are closing out our series Sunday, okay? Breakaway, 10:30 a.m. Edge, 5 o'clock. If you've ever been in a situation where maybe you didn't feel like you had hope, or you would wondered where maybe hope could be, or you felt alone, let us know in the comments and we'll connect with you. We'd love to hear, we'd love to encourage you today, okay? Have a great one.
Kelsey, so you're so short.
I'm sorry. I'll do
We
better
got a
next time.
stool box
I could.
we put her on?
I'll just jump.
Standing in at 4'11" and a half.
I'm 5 foot. That's 5'1".
She holds on to that.
At one. It's time to get nasty.
Well,
That's not good.
if you remember,
We're keeping that.
No.
Sam doesn't know what day it is.
I never do.
If you've ever felt alone before,
Or shut
comment
down.
below. Stop with the gang signs. What
It's
is
not
with
a gang
all the
sign.
gang signs?
It's not a gang sign. It's
What is that?
Napoleon Dynamite.
You have crooked
That's
fingers.
West Side. That is a
What is
gang
that?
sign.
That's not a crooked
Look at
finger.
that. Look, I got one too. Look at that. Isn't that
right.
weird?
Oh, I have a
Okay.
tiger thumb.
Look at that.
I have this.
Episode 4.